What's up, DramaCast Nation? Get ready for a wild ride because the news cycle is absolutely exploding this week. We're kicking things off with the fallout from the assassination of Charlie Kirk. The media is buzzing, conservatives are calling out cancel culture, and people are losing their jobs over social media posts. We've got the full scoop on who's being targeted and why. Next up, we're diving into the heated debate surrounding free speech in the wake of Charlie Kirk's assassination. Senator Chris Murphy joins the conversation, weighing in on the cancel culture surrounding critics and what it all means for the First Amendment. Is free speech under attack? Then, we've got a powerful argument from Christopher Dummitt connecting the dots between cancel culture and violence, using Charlie Kirk's murder as a stark example. He's breaking down how elite efforts to silence certain viewpoints can create dangerous conditions. This one is a must-watch. And finally, we're hearing from FIRE, an organization dedicated to defending free speech for everyone, no matter their political leaning. They're rallying support to keep the First Amendment strong. Plus, we'll give you a lightning-round recap of all today's top stories and a massive call to action. Smash that subscribe button and ring the bell. The right is weaponizing cancel culture against those who celebrated Charlie Kirk's assassination. The media landscape is ablaze with accusations of a new cancel culture campaign, spearheaded by conservatives targeting individuals who celebrated the assassination of Charlie Kirk. This isn't just online chatter. People are losing their jobs, their careers, and their reputations over posts made in the immediate aftermath of Kirk's death. Outlets like the Associated Press and the New York Times are reporting on a widespread and fast-moving campaign of naming and shaming, where conservative influencers and ordinary Americans are mobilizing to identify and pressure employers of those making disparaging remarks about Kirk. While some posts are undoubtedly offensive, others are being scrutinized for simply expressing a lack of sympathy or criticizing Kirk's political stances, raising serious questions about the line between free speech and professional consequences. Employers are facing immense pressure, with many acting swiftly to terminate or suspend employees whose social media activity is deemed inappropriate. From college assistant deans to NFL communications staffers, the fallout is widespread. The debate is intensifying over whether these firings are justified responses to offensive speech or a dangerous escalation of political retribution, mirroring tactics previously decried by the right. The intensity of these reactions has sparked a national conversation about accountability, online behavior, and the future of workplace free speech. This dramatic escalation of online vigilantism and its real-world consequences has the public divided. Some see it as a necessary reckoning for hateful rhetoric, while others view it as a dangerous precedent that stifles open discourse. The sheer volume of public reaction and the rapid firings have analysts questioning the sustainability of this aggressive approach and its implications for broader societal tolerance. Don't go anywhere, because the battle for free speech is far from over. Next, we'll explore how Senator Chris Murphy is dissecting this very issue and what it means for all of us. Is the cancel culture surrounding Charlie Kirk's assassination a threat to free speech? In the wake of Charlie Kirk's assassination, a significant debate has erupted concerning the boundaries of free speech and the role of cancel culture. Senator Chris Murphy is at the forefront of this discussion, analyzing the cancellation of critics and its broader implications for the First Amendment. While official condemnations of violence are standard, the online sphere, particularly platforms like TikTok and Reddit, has shown a darker mood, with some users celebrating Kirk's death. This stark contrast highlights a growing polarization where expressions of sympathy are juxtaposed with gleeful reactions, and the subsequent professional repercussions for those expressing controversial views are drawing intense scrutiny. Senator Murphy's insights delve into how these online sentiments translate into real-world consequences, particularly for those who dare to criticize or express a lack of mourning for public figures. The argument is being made that, when elites marginalize certain viewpoints, they inadvertently create conditions where violence can fester. This perspective suggests that the current climate, fueled by a desire for retribution or a strong reaction against perceived hate speech, could inadvertently erode the principles of free expression that are fundamental to a democratic society. The question remains, where do we draw the line between holding individuals accountable for their words and preserving the essential right to express unpopular opinions? The public reaction is a complex mix of outrage over the assassination, concern for free speech principles, and debate over the appropriateness of online commentary. Analysts are weighing in on whether the current environment fosters genuine dialogue or silences dissent, and the potential long-term impact on political discourse. But what happens when cancel culture directly fuels violence? Christopher Dummitt offers a provocative take on how silencing voices can lead to dangerous outcomes. Cancel culture isn't just about silencing voices, it can pave the way for violence. Christopher Dummitt presents a compelling argument that the actions of elites in marginalizing certain viewpoints and branding voices as too extreme can, paradoxically, create the very conditions that foster violence. Using the assassination of Charlie Kirk as a case study, Dummitt contends that the public's reaction, particularly online, reveals a disturbing mood where gleeful posts celebrating death and damning the deceased are algorithmically amplified. This online carnage, he argues, is not merely a reflection of thoughts and feelings, but a symptom of a deeper societal issue where the deliberate exclusion of specific viewpoints can have dangerous repercussions. Dummitt points to a perceived irony, especially in Canada, where politicians and commentators who denounce violence have simultaneously spent years working to marginalize conservative voices. He suggests that the mainstream media and political centers often frame perspectives like Kirk's as too extreme or dangerous for legitimate debate. This active discrimination against conservative viewpoints, whether through labeling them as illegitimate or attacking misinformation, often defined as viewpoints the left disagrees with, creates an environment where suppressed frustrations can potentially boil over into more extreme actions. Kirk's own appeal, Dummitt notes, stemmed partly from his willingness to address taboo topics and give voice to opinions often ignored by mainstream outlets. The response to Kirk's death highlights a societal struggle to grapple with the consequences of political polarization and the potential for deplatforming to have unintended, violent outcomes. Dummitt's analysis challenges the comfortable dismissal of such events as isolated incidents, urging a deeper examination of the systemic factors that contribute to the normalization of hostility and the potential for violence. But is the fight against censorship truly for everyone? We turn to FIRE, an organization fighting to defend free speech for all. Defending the First Amendment, FIRE's fight for free speech across the political spectrum. In an era where cancel culture dominates headlines and free speech is increasingly debated, the Foundation for Individual Rights and Expression, FIRE, stands firm in its mission to protect the First Amendment for everyone, regardless of their political ideology. FIRE emphasizes that defending free speech isn't about agreeing with the speech itself, but about upholding the fundamental right to express diverse viewpoints without fear of censorship or professional reprisal. This commitment extends to protecting individuals on the left, right, and center, recognizing that the erosion of free speech for one group ultimately threatens it for all. The recent events surrounding Charlie Kirk's assassination have brought this debate to a fever pitch. While many express outrage over hateful online comments, FIRE's stance highlights the critical need to distinguish between offensive speech and incitement, and to ensure that the consequences for expressing unpopular opinions do not involve job loss or public shaming. The organization is actively working to counter the trend of naming and shaming, campaigns, and advocating for a more robust understanding of free expression, especially within academic and public spheres. Their work underscores the importance of dialogue and the protection of dissenting voices in a healthy democracy. FIRE's proactive defense of free speech principles is resonating widely, with many people across the political spectrum joining their cause. The organization is actively seeking support to ensure the First Amendment remains a strong, protected right for all citizens, emphasizing that this battle is crucial for the future of open discourse in America. That's all the top stories for today, but we're not done yet. Stay tuned for a quick recap and our big call to action. And that's a wrap on today's explosive news. We covered the media's take on conservatives weaponizing cancel culture after Charlie Kirk's assassination, Senator Chris Murphy's take on free speech, Christopher Dummitt's link between cancel culture and violence, and FIRE's crucial defense of the First Amendment for all. You don't want to miss what's next, so make sure you're subscribed. Hit that like button if you found this valuable, and ring the notification bell so you're alerted the second new videos drop. Share your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think about these stories? And follow us on all our social channels for even more drama and updates. Thanks for watching DramaCast, and we'll see you in the next one.